He had a bunch of Boston lettuce he was growing. And he's like, yeah, just go grab some. I look down, I see these massive spiders like this big.
Welcome back to another episode of This Thing of Ours podcast,
where we talk about all of life's highs and lows.
And everything in between. Happy Sunday. Another week has gone by. I feel like I repeat this every single time. This is our opening. Happy Sunday. I repeat this every single time.
How was your week?
It was okay. How was yours?
My week was okay. But no, like for real though, it was somewhat stressful. Things that I had to deal with, people I had to deal with. But I feel like at the same time, it kind of went by fairly quick still.
It did. I feel like the time is just passing.
I know. It is crazy. Like we're already almost halfway through the year. Mm-hmm. And where has the time gone?
I have no idea. I think about that a lot sometimes.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, how was your week?
My week was okay. Like I said, it like you said, it was stressful. But something funny actually happened. Well, it's not funny, but it got the wheels of my brain turning. So I'm new at my workplace, and I met one of my coworkers actually in the bathroom. We're both washing our hands, and she turns to me. She goes, "Hi, Amelia." I'm like, "Hey." She goes, "How are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing good. You?" And she goes, "Oh, I'm good. You're so quiet. What do you do for fun?" And I'm like, what do I do for fun?
How do I answer that?
Yeah. Like, that's the only thing that was really going through my brain.
What
like,
do I do?
I know. I kind of just shrugged. I was like, I don't know.
So what'd you say?
I said, "Oh, I have a dog. I play with him." That's my answer.
Okay.
Yeah. And it kind of got me thinking, like, do I have any hobbies? Like, what do I do for fun? Like, you know those typical hobbies that people have? Like, I don't want to say typical, but it's the normal hobbies. When you ask someone, "Oh, what do you do for fun?" "Oh, I like to read," or "I go for a bike ride," or "I swim, walk my dog, go on the computer." I feel like those are just the typical answers. And what are people looking for when they ask you, what do you do for fun? Like, are you looking for an answer, or are you looking for, like, when someone says, "Hey, how are you?" "Well, I'm good." "You?" "I'm good." And then you move on. Like,
are they looking for an actual answer to what you do, or are they just like, it's a conversation starter? You're supposed to say, "Oh, not much." Mm-hmm. And then on to the new topic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually don't know.
But do you have any hobbies?
I don't know. To be honest, like, I actually got asked that the other day too, because like we're both new at our like same field, but new location because we both just moved to a new city.
Yeah.
So we're just meeting the people that we work with now, right? So yeah, I got asked that the other day too, and I just said, honestly, like, I don't do much.
Yeah.
Like, I go for walks with my dog, and I play on my computer.
Yeah.
That's really all I do.
It's true. You know what's funny though? A couple years ago, an answer, I remember I did ask somebody that before. I asked someone that, and they told me, "Oh, I go on Facebook." This was like years ago. Like, that's what I do for fun. I go on Facebook. And I was like, oh, okay. So I feel like maybe that's when social media started like rising as what do you do for fun? Because now people make money off social media, people for fun, right? And they turn their hobbies into like a job. But people who work 9 to 5 or whatever shift you're working, what do you do after work? Is that considered as a hobby, like what you're doing after? Like, do you crack open a beer? Are you watching the football game? Like, it's things like that I'm always curious about what people do also when they go home. And is that when, their fun starts? What are you considering? What do you do for fun? Are you talking about after work, or are you talking about on the weekends?
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like it's a different question if you ask, what do you do for fun? Or like, do you have any hobbies after work? Because like she mentioned, like, some people take their hobbies and actually create a business around that hobby, and they make a little bit of extra money on the side outside of their job 9 to 5, right?
Yeah. I wanted to say, I do my podcast. Like, I feel like this is a hobby. Like, like we're going into this not without like really high expectations. Like, this is something that we just really enjoy doing. We, vlogged before, and this is something that we wanted to get back into, but we want to do more of a podcasting. But I don't want to tell her like, "Oh, I'm podcast. Like, I do podcasting for fun." Like, I felt like when people ask you that and you don't know them, there's an answer, a specific answer they're looking for. Like, I read books, for fun. They're not actually looking for a deep answer, something other than the normal.
Is it the fact that you don't want to give a real answer?
Maybe.
Because you don't know them and you don't know if you can trust them to tell them like what's actually going on in your life.
Yeah.
So you just give them a broad answer. And then you move on to a new topic.
Well, what if she listens to this podcast, right? And I'll be like, yeah, I do podcasting. She finds me and I go, I made one episode. I talk about how I'm quitting my job the next day. Or I called in sick. I wasn't really sick. I just wanted to film this podcast. Like,
I guess so. It could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say something you shouldn't have said and the wrong person hears it. But nah, I don't think that would really happen, to be honest. But
what do you do for fun? What is your hobby?
I really don't do much. Like, I used to do a lot, but I feel like as I've grown up a bit and I've matured and stopped hanging out with people I used to hang out with, I feel like it's just us now.
Yeah.
So we really don't do too much. Again, we're in a whole new city where we know no one.
It's exciting.
So we hang out with just us two. We take our dog for a walk. We play with him. Other than that, I mean, I watch a little bit of TV here and there, hockey game.
Okay, here's a challenge. Say a hobby that you do other than walking your dog, watching the TV, going on the computer, or what's another like typical answer? Reading. Like,
if you could answer that, please let me know, because I can't. I really don't do anything other than those. Like, on my computer, I'm not scrolling through social media. I do have a algorithm that I created, a trading robot that trades for me.
I'm super proud of you for creating that. That's pretty cool to watch you build it.
Yeah, I mean, it works. It does what it needs to do, but obviously there's still little things that I think of as time goes on, like, oh, I should tweak it this way, add this to it. And then I keep back testing it, see if it produces better results, little things like that. And I feel like that's my hobby.
That's a good hobby. And you also sound like super smart.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're interested, it's for Forex. I mean, it could be used for other things. And if you don't know what Forex is, that's the foreign exchange market, kind of like stocks, but for currencies. Yeah. But if you're interested, we can do a future video.
I would love to do a podcast interviewing you, though, about how you got started into it, because I feel like you started when there was a lot of people still doing it, but a lot of people haven't heard of it. Like, a lot of people look at me like, what's Forex?
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, but I feel like it's starting to get really, really popular, and a lot of people and their mothers and their grandmothers now, everyone is starting to, get really heavily invested into like the stock market, Forex, and
I think
crypto.
Since crypto came out, that's when people started going crazy with it. Once they realized how much money people were making in crypto. But I feel like it's also the fact that, like, we are getting a little bit older, and I feel like people are realizing that off your basic earned income, majority of people are not making enough to put anything aside. Yeah. So I feel like investing is a big topic that people are trying to get into.
Speaking, I'm about to interrupt you.
That's fine. I saw it coming.
Speaking of that, if you haven't seen last week's episode where we talked about the budgeting, we're about to include a clip of that right now.
But try to get an average of what you pay every month, and budget for that. And I put all those numbers into a spreadsheet and figure out exactly how much I need every month. And then the rest is going to be cash flow. So there's actually a template. So if you don't want to have to build your own, there's a template that's very, very nice on Excel that you just open the template and you just plug in what expenses you have, your income for the month, and then it will give you if you have a positive or negative cash flow.
Yep.
And cash flow is basically the remainder after all your expenses are paid, how much you have left.
So if you haven't watched that episode, click that link in the description, or there will be a card right above the screen here where you can watch last week's episode. So going back to the topic of investing, do you find that's a hobby for you then? Because you talked about your bot. Is that a hobby?
Yeah, I feel like I do look at like different news and things like that. I like to read articles about what's happening around the world because I mean, Forex, it's more globally. And I mean, stocks are too a little bit because you need to know supply and demand and different things like that. So, but I don't know. I just feel like I've gotten asked by friends that I don't even really talk to anymore. I talk to them like very rarely if I see them.
They hit you with that question.
Yeah,
what you been up to lately?
What you been up to? And they've been asking me because they know that I took like a finance like specialization in university, so they know that I've been learning about investing and different things like that, right? So they keep asking me like, oh, how do I get into it? Oh, I want to do this. I want to do this.
So do you find when they're asking you what have you been up to lately, it's not really to ask you like what you've been up to lately, it's
to lead into the next topic.
Yeah, they want you to answer a specific question.
But enough about me. What are your hobbies?
Silence, like cricket silence.
Or what do you do for fun?
Cleaning is probably one of my bigger hobbies. Like I feel like after cleaning, I feel very relaxed. I feel like I'm in because my apartment is so, my house is so clean, you know? So I feel like maybe that's a hobby. Like if you're listening to this right now on Spotify, I'm actually scratching my head because I really don't know how to answer that. I do have a sewing machine. My dad actually used to sew, and I feel like maybe that's where my passion came from, is from him, because he used to actually sew like jean bags and different things like that. I'll actually put pictures of the different ones that he made from scratch. It was actually really cool. He had this, is it called embroidery?
Embroidery.
Yeah, he used to have one of those machines, and it was really cool to watch him and just watch the machine do it. Like that was one of my favorite actually pastimes of, maybe I would say as a hobby, other than hanging out with friends back then. It was watching my dad sew. Like I was young, but I feel like I was young enough to obviously create that memory. Yeah. Because I always liked seeing how the end product came about. So now that I'm older, I started sewing. Like I even made this little scrunchie in my hair. Yeah. But yeah, it was fun.
What's that one made out of?
Satin material.
Satin?
Yeah. But yeah, other than sewing, walking dogs, cleaning. Other than that, are we boring?
Or are we just getting old?
Well, you know, your grandpa likes to garden.
Oh, I know. My grandpa's like
90, 100.
85, 90. I don't know exactly how old he is, but he's in between there. He's still doing stuff. He's doing stuff all the time. I don't even know. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. He's always outside in the summer anyway, trying to do something with his garden, fixing this, fixing that. And yeah.
And he's still moving. Like, good for him.
Yep.
See, I want to start a garden this year, but I'm afraid of the spiders. That when you told me about how your grandpa wanted you to put your hand in the garden bed to pull out the romaine lettuce, and he's like, all those spiders.
Just go pick some lettuce. He had Boston lettuce. Is what it was. He had a bunch of Boston lettuce he was growing, and he's like, yeah, just go grab some. I look down, I see these massive spiders, like this big, like hundreds of them. I'm like, oh my!
I would have fainted.
Like I shook them off a little bit, and then grabbed the leaf, but. I'm not super scared of spiders, but I'm not someone who wants them crawling on me.
If you haven't yet subscribe to the channel. I always say that during the most randomest time. But if you haven't yet subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and join the community.
Follow us on podcast players as well.
Yes, all the links will be in the description below. And don't be shy. Join the family. If you haven't left a comment, come say hi. And wait, we have 19 subscribers. Can you believe we actually have 19?
I know. It actually felt like it was fairly quick to get that.
Yeah.
Like, appreciate everybody who has subscribed so far.
Thank you.
And everyone who's viewed the videos.
We like to vlog, and we will start vlogging more, like, throughout the days to come, weeks to come. Eventually we will start vlogging is what I'm trying to say.
But we're going to have this podcast every Sunday.
Yeah.
And sit down every Sunday.
Yeah. And I want to actually have a conversation with you guys. Like I want to get to know other people, definitely different people across the world, and, you know, see what you guys think. Like, what are your hobbies? What do you guys do after work? Like, are you coming home, turning on that Netflix? You gonna make yourself a hot chocolate? Do you drink tea? Like, what do you do after work? What hobbies do you have? Do you sew? Play street hockey? Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I actually do. Like, I am curious what other people do. So like, let us know in the comments below. We will respond to your comments. But no, like, because we don't do much. So I would like to know what people do after work or on the weekends. Like, and I'm kind of curious, like during the week, do you not do much? You just go home and, you know, watch TV, you know, cook dinner, watch TV and sit around till you go to sleep and you wake up, do it all over again.
Till Friday.
And then on the weekend, that's when you actually go out and do things.
That's when the life starts, I guess.
Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of people do live for the weekend, right?
Well, that's why there's a saying.
Yeah. Live for the weekend. Yeah, I know. I feel like a lot of people do that. But there's other people too that like they spend money
to have fun.
And
is there anything that's free other than walking through the parks?
Yeah.
Sometimes there are museums that will let you go in free on like some days or some events. But other than that, like, I feel like, do you have to spend money to have fun? Like, it's not like you can just go for a bike ride. Like, you gotta spend that money to get a bike. Like,
yeah. It almost feels like you always have to spend money at some point, whether it's continuously to have fun, like people that go to the bars and things like that. You have to spend money, buy your drinks when you're there, right? But if you're not doing that, like she said, buy a bike, you have to spend that upfront cost to be able to use the bike to have fun. Or like people I work with, they're in like different leagues, sports leagues, like baseball or softball or hockey, different leagues, right? And you have to pay to join them.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I feel like,
I guess, sorry to interrupt you, but I feel like maybe at that point money doesn't matter because they know they really like what they're doing outside of work, and it just helps them not think about work. Like, it relieves that stress.
Yeah, oh for sure. From them. And I feel like we all kind of need that.
Well, how do you relieve stress? Like, how do you deal with stress then, other than going on your computer?
I feel like maybe I don't. Maybe I'll just blow up one day. Who knows? I don't know.
Hoping I'm not there.
No, I don't know. I just feel like most of my time is spent planning for the future nowadays because I spend so much time not thinking about my future that I feel like I'm always trying to do something or think of something that will benefit my future.
Okay.
And I feel like that's how I distract myself. And well, I guess maybe not distract myself, but that's how I relieve or escape the day, you know, or leave it behind me sort of thing. And
I'm thinking of virtual reality. Those big goggles you put on and you're like, okay, I'm in a whole new world now. What is virtual reality? Like, if you guys ever experienced it, like, I'm thinking it's like The Sims. Like, you remember the video game The Sims?
Oh, yeah.
No, it wasn't a video game. It was a computer game.
Yeah, no, all I know is that it's like almost like a first person thing. You put the little glasses or whatever they are on and you're moving the person. Yeah, like you're not watching the person move, like you are that person.
Oh, that's cool. It's almost like you are the video game then.
Yeah, so I don't know. I've definitely never used it.
That sounds like something that would be on Black Mirror, that Netflix TV show. I couldn't watch that TV show. Tell you the truth, I think I watched one episode, and with the robot, I think that's what got me. It was the robot dog episode with the guards. Oh,
when they were guards.
Yeah, after that, I stopped watching it. I was like, I'm not watching this. This is too much real life shit, I ain't watching this. No, this is some future stuff. I ain't ready to know yet. I ain't watching the Black Mirror.
Honestly,
TV show.
those creators of Black Mirror, props to you, because you really hit some points that could very well be a possibility in the very near future. And some of those things are actually happening right now.
Let's not get into conspiracy theories here. You know, this is going on the internet. We're not conspiracy theorists. So let's not get too heavily deep into that.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic.
That's government listening. That's another conspiracy topic. Let me stop. All right.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like the world almost makes you spend money to have fun. I feel like that's the way the world is just designed. It's like there's very few things that you can just do nowadays to have fun and relieve stress and do different things, right? There's very few things that do not cost money. It's a very capitalist society we live in where everything costs something.
Yeah. Costs like $100 just to go to the movies. Unless you got points. Like that popcorn alone costs like $40.
Yep. Yeah, it's expensive.
I don't know if it actually costs $40. I'm just saying, like.
Yeah, but no, it is expensive. Like anything you do nowadays.
I definitely want to get a bike and start biking, because I feel like that was a hobby I used to have in my early 20s, was exercising, and I want to start biking. Like I want to do something other than just going to the gym and working out, you know? Yeah, I feel like that's what I'm gonna do now that COVID's ended. I'm gonna get a bike, you know, finally go into a store and pick out a bike that I would like, because it was hella annoying not being able to go into stores and actually physically touching the product.
Oh, I know. You can buy it online.
No, it's not the same. Like,
I know, but
like
that's what they were saying, right?
Yeah. No, it's not the same. It's not the same. Because then when you want to return things, it's a headache to return it, to the point where you just be like, I'm just going to keep it.
Yeah, I know. And I guarantee you guys probably feel the same thing. You buy something online and
how many of you guys really return it?
It ends up just hanging out in your closet if it's closed, or you throw it in the garage and it just stays there. Yeah. And you never really use it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no.
Hobbies.
Anything else that you do, you think?
Hobbies. Hobbies. Man. I'm looking around, like, trying to figure out, like, I don't want to say I watch TV, because TV for me is just, it's not the way Netflix used to be. And now that they're trying to get rid of password sharing, I'm not putting out there that I share my password. I'm just saying, but now I realize that they're starting to put more commercials. I think that's what they're doing.
Are they?
They did something on Netflix. Oh, they're not putting out the full episodes.
Oh yeah, they're releasing half seasons. But I think that was due to COVID and because they weren't able to film. Yeah. They finally were able to start filming, so they just did half, released it, so they can continue filming while those are playing.
That's okay. I'd be okay with that because of COVID. But once COVID ends, like, I'm looking for those full episodes again.
So you just binge watch seasons.
Yes.
And I feel like that's a problem we have.
Yeah. Like, we don't watch TV, but when we find a TV show that we really want to watch, we binge watch it in like a day or two. Mm-hmm. Like, we stay up all night binge watching it. Yep. And then we're like, well, what do we do now? Yeah. Like that meme, like after you finish a season, it's just like you feel helpless. Like, what do you do?
The meme of Dave Chappelle. Y'all got any more of those episodes? Oh man. Yeah. No, it's true though. But I feel like with TV lately, like Netflix and all that stuff, I feel like I spend more time trying to find something to watch than actually watching a show. And then a lot of time I just give up. I'm not watching nothing tonight.
See, I go to bed at 8. So like, I get sleepy around 8 o'clock. Like right after work. I guess you're right. I do live for the weekend because I know Friday night I stay up a little bit later and I get the things that I want to do during the week, because I can't do it during the week because I come home and I'm so tired. Like, I feel like at work it drains me, like, mentally. Yeah. And even though I have so many goals, I just feel like I've spent so much time at work thinking about those goals that I have to do when I get home. And I get home and I'm like, I am tired.
You eat and then
I sleep.
Sit down for a second and that's it.
Yeah. Or I'll go on the computer and my eyes will be like start dropping because I'm tired. So I feel like I do live for the weekend, and after work I'm like tired. So,
and I don't know, I feel like that's a big part of the reason why, like, yeah, people may have hobbies, but I feel like they could potentially turn those into businesses, but they're just so tired after work that it always just stays a hobby, and they don't turn it into something that can
maybe
produce.
they don't want to.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
Because then that's just extra stress.
Yeah,
that's on them now. Like the same thing that they used to do to relieve stress, now it's just added stress because now they have to turn into a job, and now they're stressed about how much money they're going to be bringing in extra.
I don't know. Maybe some people want that though. Some people want to bring in that extra income, or some people need that extra income.
With the way things are going today, like I feel like, maybe one job, if it's not paying you enough, I feel like now we might need an extra job sometimes to just get by, or to use that second job as a savings. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like what's that saying? The average millionaire has 7 streams of income. Or
is that a saying?
It is, yeah, something along those lines. Millionaires have an average of 7 streams of income, or something like that.
Wow.
And that is a saying.
Interesting.
But yeah, anyway, what are your hobbies? Let us know, because I am curious.
Give us some ideas.
Exactly.
What to do.
Because we do need, we're okay. We are happy. We're content. But it would be nice to have some things to do once in a while.
Well, I actually have create a hobby or get a hobby or whatever I wrote on my New Year's resolution. So it's good that we had this podcast, because I kind of thought about it. I'm like, well, I forgot that I wanted to have a hobby this year. Like I wanted to find a hobby. And I feel like maybe this podcast is it.
Maybe. Because
I do like editing and I do like filming. I love to talk to you guys, and I love YouTube and, all the other social, well, not TikTok. I'm learning about TikTok. I find it's hard to keep up with all these social media stuff, but I do enjoy YouTube because of all the memories, and it's interesting to see how other people are living across the world, people you probably would never heard of or even knew existed if YouTube wasn't around. So it's interesting to see how they edit, they film, what they're basically doing with their lives. And it's like, oh, cool. They swim. Maybe I should try swimming. Take swimming lessons.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You swim?
I took swimming lessons when I was younger. I failed miserably, but I took swimming lessons. Definitely won't take swimming lessons now as an adult, just because I don't want to. But I know how to swim. I know how to doggy paddle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I can swim. If you throw me in the water, I guarantee you I will start treading water.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
And I will doggy paddle back to shore. Yeah, my sister is a really good swimmer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if my oldest sister knows how to swim, but my middle sister, she definitely is a good swimmer. She's good at everything, though, I find. So she's like one of those people who are just good at things. And it's like, how do you get good at these things? She just tries.
It's like me.
Other than this podcast, I'm going to try to find another hobby. And I'm going to mention that what my hobby is going to be in maybe in another episode. Give me a couple of weeks to figure out what type of hobby I want to develop. Something new. Something I've never even thought of doing. Maybe knitting.
Yeah.
Never thought about knitting before.
I feel like
it looks boring though. But let me know if you knit. I don't mean to offend you, but if knitting is boring, let me know. Or if you tried it, is it hard to start as an adult? Or did your grandma teach you from a young age? Let me know how you guys started learning about knitting.
Being in a new city, there's going to be a lot of different things that we can do. A bigger city necessarily, right? Where we moved from.
It was a small town.
Wow. I mean, it's not that
It was a small town when I moved.
Yes, it grew a little bit since you first got in there, but I just feel like there wasn't as much to do. I feel like this city has more to offer. And yeah, we hope to show you guys a little bit what the city has to offer as well.
Yeah, and our experience going through it. So look forward to all those future vlogs, and I'm super excited. I really am. Did you play street hockey as a kid?
Of course. Of course. I played street hockey. We played football in the street. Obviously not tackle football, because that would have really hurt.
Okay.
Getting tackled on pavement, yeah, that would not have been fun. But I played sports. Why?
No, I'm just asking. I'm trying to think, because there was actually a couple kids down the street, and every day around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I see them outside and they have hockey nets and they're playing hockey. And then there's another bunch of kids, not too far from here. They have a basketball net, and then there's a lot of kids in this neighborhood.
Yeah, I seen the one girl. She's out there like every day playing with her basketball.
Her baby
basketball
brother.
net. Yeah.
So I'm thinking, those are, and it's funny because now that I'm thinking about it, that's the reason why I'm bringing this up is because that's their hobby. After school, they're coming home and they're playing street hockey with their friends that they just saw 2 minutes ago, or they're coming home and they're shooting basketball by themselves. So that's a hobby. That's something that they like to do for fun after school. So let us know what you guys do after work. But if you guys have any topics that you want us to cover, talk about, mention it in the comments below. Let us know what you guys do for fun, what you guys do on the weekend. Or do you have a hobby that you do after work just to, help you get by and relieve that stress? So I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. And don't forget to subscribe on this channel. And thank you to all those who have subscribed. Shout out to you, 19 subscribers. We appreciate you. And
we do appreciate it. The love we've received so far.
Yes.
But yeah, we definitely want to grow a community here and get to know you guys. So let us know, like she said, what you guys do, how you guys are feeling, what you want to see from us.
Yeah. And we will see you guys in the next episode.
Yeah. Or you can click that link over there for our previous videos.
Yeah. And we'll see you then. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Peace.
We eat out once in a while. We'll go buy food. We'll go buy, coffees. We'll do things like that. But we try to minimize that cost.